Hey YouTube, what's up? Jeff Small with Small Talk TV here, and in this episode I am going to give you guys 10 reasons why I'm opposed to the war on drugs, so I hope you guys enjoy. Prohibition increases use. In the case of alcohol, it was initially believed that prohibition was working because the alcohol by volume sales went down, but what had happened is they switched to more concentrated alcohol, and it turned out that it actually increased if you looked at the alcohol percentages. The war on drugs is racist. African Americans account for 14% of the drug users in the United States, while they account for 37% of the drug offense population in prison. So there's a lot of different factors in this. I think the main two are blatant discrimination and geographic location, but the fact still stands that the war on drugs is racist. Prohibition gives power to criminals. And what I mean by this is in Mexico, oftentimes there will be drug lords that will literally control a whole region. I watched a documentary, it was a Vice documentary, and I'll put a link right here, but it was basically showing the drug trade in Mexico and the corruption and how literally the cartels would own cities and they would not even let police in. So obviously this poses a risk to people that live there. The war on drugs puts drug users in more danger than they have to be, and when you buy drugs from a black market, you don't exactly know what you're getting. You don't know if it's cut, you don't know the purity, and you don't know anything about the manufacturing process, which is an obvious danger. A lot of things can go wrong, especially when these complicated processes. But if you were to buy from a trusted retailer, you could know all about the purity, which will help you gauge your doses. You can know a lot more about the manufacturing, and you can feel safe about it, which will overall increase or decrease negative experiences such as bad trips or overdoses. So yeah, I like safety. Making arrests for drugs encourages poverty because when you get a criminal record, it's harder to get a job. It's harder to secure housing. Student loans are hard to obtain. There's just a lot of bad things that come with having a criminal record. Prohibition is often based on lies and propaganda, which in turn creates a disconnect between people and their government, and it creates a distrust. For example, if a kid had heard all of his middle school career that weed will kill you or do something bad to you the first time you try it, and then their friends eventually peer pressure them into it, and he tries it once and he realizes this isn't that bad, and then another drug comes up and he's not going to trust the government, what the government says about something, if they lied the last time. Prohibition makes drugs hard to study, and if we were able to study them, we could learn more about safe usage and potential dangers and risks, because a lot of like with a lot of drugs, especially psychedelics, there is barely any research out there, any credible research out there, because simply people are afraid to. We waged the war on drugs on the wrong drugs. 3 times the amount of people die from prescription drugs every year than illicit drugs, all combined. So all prescription drugs and all illegal drugs on the black market. So 3 times the people die from prescription drug overdoses. The war on drugs is a result of dirty politics, and this is really easy to see in the example of hemp. What the paper industries did, because the paper industries they were making paper out of timber. So they were making paper out of timber, and this crop of hemp, someone discovered that you can make really good hemp paper. It doesn't rip, it's really easy to grow, and they already had everything set up for their timber production. So what they did is they used marijuana, which looks like hemp, but the thing is, one gets you high and one doesn't. Hemp doesn't get you high. It can't. It doesn't have any psychoactive properties. And what the paper industries did is they used marijuana, and they said, hey, look, it's the cousin of weed. It should be legal too, or illegal too. And people bought it because this is the 1920s, and this is when everything's forming. Nobody knows anything about hemp. So now we know that hemp is a really versatile crop, and it is really bad for our economy to have it illegal. And if you just research hemp, it's a really interesting subject. It is honestly a crazy plant. Alcohol companies don't want MDMA legal. It's an alternative which will decrease their sales. There's just a lot of, you just have to think of it from a money perspective, because that's really what drives American politics. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I opened your minds to different things. I exposed you to different things, different viewpoints. If you guys want to debate me in the comments, or if you want to leave a like, just let me know what you think. Do whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.